Welcome to the Time for Tea Designs YouTube channel. It's Vic here today and I'm going to be showing you how I created this Christmas vellum card. So I have an A4 piece of vellum and I'm just going to trim this in half. So I'm just trimming it at 4 1/4 and then I'm going to score this at 5 7/8 and this is in inches. And then I'm just going to use my bone folder to fold this in half, and that is how I've made the base of the vellum Christmas card. And then to keep the Christmas card nice and sturdy, I'm going to be adding a piece of white card which I'll just place on the inside of my vellum base, and you can also write your Christmas greeting in this as well. So I'm going to be using some dies for my card, and this is the Home for Christmas dies, and this is a really sweet die set, has some little houses on there, and then I've also got the Stop Dachshund Around stamp set which is full of sausage dogs. But I'm not using the sausage dogs today, I'm going to be using the snowflakes from that stamp set. So I'm just prepping my vellum, and this will stop any fingerprints or marks that I have on the vellum because I'm going to be heat embossing. So I'm just taking them snowflake stamps and I'm just placing them onto my card, and then I'm going to get a rough idea of roughly where I want my snowflakes. So I've placed them in a cluster of 4. And then I'm just going to get my acrylic block and pick these stamps up. It makes stamping so much easier, especially when you're doing backgrounds. So now I have some Versamark ink, so I'm just going to pop this onto my stamps. I've placed a piece of paper just underneath so I don't get the ink all over my desk and then I'll have embossing powder stick to it. So I'm going to go ahead and just start stamping my background so I can see where the snowflakes are. It's very hard to see on screen. And I'm using some Wow bright white embossing powder, so I'm just going to pop this onto my card, and I've done half the stamps at the top, and then I'm going to go ahead and just pop that embossing powder back in, and then I'm going to carry on with the stamping at the bottom of the card. And if there's any stray bits of embossing powder, I've just used a dry paintbrush just to gently wipe these away. And then once I've done the bottom half of the card, I then just use one of the snowflake stamps and then I go in and fill in any extra spaces. So now I've got my heat gun, I'm going to go ahead and heat set this, and if your vellum warps, which means it will start bending, if you just get a large acrylic block or a book and just place it over this as soon as you've heat embossed, that will keep it nice and straight for you. And I love how the white embossing powder looks when it's heat set on the vellum. I think it looks really lovely, especially for Christmas cards or Christmas tags. So now my heat embossing is done, I'm going to be moving on to the die cutting. So I will be using the Home for Christmas dies in a second, but I have the Let It Snow sentiment die. And I absolutely love this sentiment die. I love the font, I think it just looks so pretty. So I've gone ahead and die cut both of the dies, and I'm using some white cards, and then I've also used some soft pink card because I love using them colours together, and I think it'll look really nice on the vellum card too. And I'm just popping some PVA glue onto that piece before I adhere it down onto the pink piece, and then I'm just going to place that aside for a second. And I've already gone ahead and die cut out all my houses. My Let It Snow sentiment, I'm going to pop that up on some foam pads, and then I'm going to place that onto my card, and then I'm just using PVA glue and I'm adhering the houses straight onto the vellum piece. You can adhere these onto a piece of card and then add all the little pieces and trim that out if you like. And then I've got a little sticky tool which picks up all the pieces, which is so helpful because there are a lot of small pieces in this, but I think it makes the houses look really pretty. And I like adding all the small little details because I think it just brings your die cuts to life and just adds a little bit extra to them, And then I've also gone ahead and I've die cut, there's some little doorknobs, so I'm going to go ahead and place them onto the doors. And then there's also some little Christmas trees which I think are so cute, and there's even a little bit of snow that you can place on top of them, so I've gone ahead and added those in too. So moving on, I'm using the Falalala Scalloped Slimline die, and I've gone ahead and I've die cut the snowflakes that come in this die set, but I've die cut them using vellum. So to add a little bit of colour, I have my beautiful blender brush and some Distress Oxide inks, and I'm not being delicate here at all, I'm literally just splodging on the ink with the brushes. And you can layer them up together, they look really pretty, so I'm going to go ahead and layer up a couple of these, and then I'm also going to stick down a couple of individual snowflakes. So once my snowflakes are all adhered down, my card does stand up by itself. It is a little bit flimsy, but you can leave the card like this if you wish, but obviously I'm going to add in a piece of white card so you can write a sentiment inside. So I'm just going to go ahead and, using my paper trimmer, I'm just going to take off some of them edges so that it fits nicely inside the card. I've used double-sided tape to adhere that piece into the card just to make sure that it's nice and secure. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a couple of sequins. I'm just going to get my PVA glue, I'm popping that straight onto the vellum, and then I've got that pick-up tool which picks up the sequins very easily and makes it a lot easier to place them on your card rather than using your fingers. Personally, I think the sequins just really finish the card off lovely, along with the snowflakes that are die cut out of the vellum. And here you can see the heat embossing, all the die cuts we've used, and how the finished card looks. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you did, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely Christmas. See you soon. Bye.